Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, Carnivore, and Carnivish. And every day we just sit around here and do nothing, have a cup of coffee, chew the fat. Ooh, I never said that before. What fun. Chew the fat. And in my case, with my first morning coffee, today I had a little packet of part ghee, part coconut oil in my coffee. Divine. I love it. It sets me up. And yesterday I really needed it as I was off Cape with trips right out of the box. And then I went to Logan with two people, and one was totally inebriated. And I have met that person before at my other job at the police department. Oh my, she didn't recognize me. She was too drunk. But that was interesting. I was just afraid that my WeatherTech floor mats were not going to be able to handle anything that came back up out of her. It was 10 in the morning. And if any of you were with me, we probably would have looked at each other and wet our pants, because it's like, you know that I know that you know that she knows that I know that, but she doesn't know, right? Yeah. So that's why I'm glad I had a little fat in my coffee. What a day. So, like, I'm wearing a winter robe. The temp says 51. Starting to dip. Yeah, yeah. But that's okay. It won't change us. We're just sitting here with our cup of coffee, enjoying our keto carnivore and carnivish lifestyle. But in case you didn't see this, I just got the Men's Health with Arnold Schwarzenegger on it. And this is an ad for kale. I feel gas in my belly just looking at the ad. Does it make you want to have a kale shake? Turn off this video and run out to a 24-hour food store and get some kale and kind of whip it all up? No, thank you. Ooh. That is one vegetable that I only had to have a couple of times before I knew that, like, we couldn't be friends. That and broccoli. Broccoli turned on me first too, as far as just like getting, further into the mostly meat food plan. Those two showed their colors green rather quickly. So here we are, and I'm kind of excited. I've got my food planned for the day. I expect, when I get going, I'm out there and I'm doing it, and I'm glad my food lasts me. My stomach was just gurgling. That's why when I turned on the record button, it was gurgling so loud I thought you could hear it. And that is like what happens about halfway through the 24 hours without eating. I do have 3 cups of coffee as bridges during the time that I'm not eating. I still count myself as an intermittent faster. So if you want to jump ugly on me, that's okay. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But, it's like, I consider this intermittent fasting. It is going without food, going without chewing, and it works for this old body. So halfway through, it gurgles. And it tells me, well, I'm going to pretend I'm going to tell you I'm hungry, but if you don't buy it, well, it's nothing new. No, I'm not going to be. It's 3:45 in the morning. And that's when I ate 12 hours ago. I'm not going to be eating until, 3 later. So 11 hours from now. I do work at midnight, so I make sure I eat by 3. And it will be a ribeye. And it will have some Pete and Jerry eggs as well, and no cheese. So it all works for me. Kind of like having no cheese a few days of the week. And then my coffee stuff is the ghee with no lactose, and then non-dairy Keto, Kitu creamer. And it comes in vanilla, hazelnut, and original. And I always cut the hazelnut and the vanilla with the original as well. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I love my food plan, And it's always so interesting to just be around the regular people in the back of the car that eat regular food and then delivering the Uber Eats to people. Um, it is quite interesting. And so I don't think I had any Uber Eats yesterday because I ended up doing that Logan run, but Logan Airport in Boston. We'll see what happens today. So, what did I want to talk about today? There was something. Oh, I do have from the same Men's Health. I do have an article about fasting, and it's going to be interesting when we get to this situation because it has some celebrities that practice fasting from anywhere from like the usual 12 hours to up to doing it for days. So it'll be interesting. And I guess you won't be surprised and you may be impressed. People like J-Lo, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jimmy Kimmel, Hugh Jackman. Yeah. And so people that we know kind of do it, and they probably do it on the down low, speaking of J-Lo, because, they may get flack back. I think, is it Beyonce? And there's another famous black woman that does it too. I know it'll come to me or somebody will remember it and say it down below. But do you practice fasting, or have you practiced fasting? And what is the reasoning behind it? Just to kind of give yourself a break from food. You ate too much the day before and you just want to give your body a rest. The autophagy aspect of it, a lot of people like that as well. So what are your reasonings behind it if you do it? For me, it calms down definitely the carb sugar addict and just the whole food addiction thing by eating once a day. And I really think my metabolism likes it. I think it found, once I switched to OMAD, it just kind of opened up more time and space for sure. But it also, I eat enough at the one meal, which I usually post in separate videos, my OMADs, to just be satiated for 23, 24 hours until the next day, with the little bumps along the way of the coffee. And the coffee definitely saves me. I gave up chewing gum a few years ago, and some of you saw that video where I laid out all the types of gum that I chewed and the carbs in them, each stick or chiclet. And it was like, this is amazing. And I was having like 10, 12 sticks or chiclets a day. Yeah, that was my stress coping mechanism. And, I found after I gave that up that the cleanness of not having anything like that in my mouth the entire day really helped. And I'm sure that my bloat was cut down by giving up gum. Gum was a terrific bloater because I talked a lot. It was when I was working at the shelter and I was the office administrator, so I was always talking to people and or listening and responding. And I'm sure I was swallowing air and the gum didn't help either. And the chemicals in it and all the sucralose or sacralose or whatever the thing is, as soon as I have it, it's funny, I usually use Listerine mouthwash in my water pick. And I had a Crest Advanced, and I can taste the sucralose in it. It's just so funny, right there in a mouthwash. I'm not swallowing it. It's just right there in my mouth, and I can't wait to get through this bottle and get back to my hardcore Listerine. So, I know, you're dying to know. What am I having to eat today? Well, these are my macros for the day. My calories are 1,209 calories. My protein is 133 grams of protein. My total carbs are 1.4, and that's mostly because of the lemon juice that I pour over my electrolyte powder. And my fats are 75 grams. And what all does that include? 14 ounces of ribeye, 2 2 tablespoons of butter, the creamer, the Keto creamer in my coffee, my lemon juice, 2 medium Pete and Jerry eggs, the tablespoon of half butter, half coconut oil in my first cup of coffee. And so those equal 1,207 calories. And that seems like a very doable amount. The ribeye, the butter, and the eggs carry me to the next day with no complaints. I like that. And so that's how I do it. And over the weekend, I will have my fathead pizza that has a quarter of a cup of almond flour in the double batch. So I'm really winding it down. When the bags are gone, it's gone, and it will be a pizza, which means no flour. And on Sunday, I have my ribeye off the big green egg along with 45 grams of Brussels sprouts that are cooked in a cast iron pan in the egg on the rack. Love them. And so that's it. That's it. I'm just a happy, content person. Feed me fat, and I'll chew the fat with you anytime, any place. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, don't worry. It'll either grow on you or you'll go. But we have a cast of characters: Goldilocks, Snowflakes, Pickles, Turtles, and No Matter What Club members. And you don't have to do anything to be one of them except be one of them. Sometimes it comes already built in, like being a pickle, meaning that you might have been a cucumber with the standard American diet, but once you switch over, there's no going back, and that makes you a pickle, because pickles can never be a cucumber again, ever. Poor things. And all the other things. The snowflakes are because we're all different. The Goldilocks is because we like certain things just so, like me with my coffee. I'd need a trailer just to make my coffee in the morning if I traveled. The No Matter What Club means that no matter what, we follow our food plan and don't get pulled by the food pushers or the visuals, the triggers and the cravings. And the turtles that's who we are. We're older people trying to lose weight day at a time. We understand consistency wins the day. We tweak as we need to, but we are consistent with being that slow motion. What is it? Hoagie Carmichael. Slow motion gets you there faster. Works for me. I'll see you the next time. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Bye-bye for now.